Hey, this is something different, Lily. What's going on here today?
This is one of our honor flight fans paid for and arranged to have this C-47 flown in, and he said, you get as many vets out here as possible, and I'll take them up. And so here we are, and these guys are like kids in a candy store.
Yeah.
And they're just so excited, and some of them, of course, have never flown in this plane, but many of them have either flown or jumped from this plane, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, how long in advance did you know this was going to happen?
Just about, we had heard rumblings of it about a month ago, but just about a week and a half to 2 weeks, it was solidified, and here we are.
It's amazing the things that Honor Flight has done for these veterans. And again, I want to thank you for your inspiration, your help, and your coordination. How does it make you feel?
I mean, there's just no greater honor. I feel like everything I've ever done has led me to this point, and there's no greater joy, really, to see these guys. I mean, this is great, and this is activity is outside the scope of what Honor Flight does,
right.
But it keeps them going, and they get to visit with guys they flew with, and it's just one more fun thing for them to do.
Yeah, and they all have stories.
They have great stories. Yeah, it's fantastic to listen to this history right here.
Here we are with E.T. Roberts, and E.T., I understand you're going to go on the next Honor Flight?
That's right. Yeah.
So tell me your history with the C-47.
With the C-47, I was wounded in St. Lo in France, and they flew me out to England for 26 days, and then flew me back in again to combat, and that's where my ride in the 47s came from. But I hit Omaha Beach D-Day at 8:20 D-Day.
Wow.
And I had a flamethrower when I hit the beach, and I had to turn it loose because it was going to drown me. The tide had come up under it, so I turned that loose, and I had an assistant that had my full field pack, my my rifle, and all my eats. I had 9 days rations in my bag and all of that. I don't know where all that stuff is yet today because it's all destroyed, you know. And so when I went off, anyway, the tide was so high it'd come under my helmet like it broke my neck, and I laid there on the beach a long time trying to work my neck back into shape so I could go. And then I got up, went on and went till I got wounded and went back in and come back in and went till the war was over with.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so went back in England, stayed in there 26 days, and they sent me back into combat again.
Well, thank you again for your service, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
We're here with another veteran, Alton Clevenger. Alton, welcome to the airport.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to this flight on the C?
I am, sure am. I come home from overseas on the C-47 from Palawan, the Philippines, to Hawaii.
Was that the last time you were on board one of these aircraft?
I think so. I'm retired Air Force.
Oh, how long were you in the Air Force?
Since from 1952 until 1970.
And what was your main specialty?
I was a flight engineer on the Constellation mostly. I was a flight engineer also on the KB-50Js. That's a new version of the B-29.
Uh-huh. So are you getting pretty excited about flying at the next flight here?
Yes, I am. I'm real excited about it.
Veterans, can I have your attention,
Well,
please?
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your... Another person that has been with us on one of the trips is Janice. Tell us what we're doing here today.
Wow, we are honoring our World War II veterans again, like we should be. We're giving them a fabulous trip on a C-47. I believe it's a SkyTrain. It's one of the original low mileage or air, I guess. As you can see, all the veterans, they are waiting, just waiting to go ride this. Brad Peters and the Epic Center have generally donated this, and the guys are having a time of their life.
We're here with Leo, and he's a World War II veteran. I understand you were back on the trip on April 13th. How was that trip for you?
It's the best trip that I've ever been on in my life. And a fellow by the name of Greg McGill, he's the one that put it on for the honor flight. And everything ran perfect. Everything we did was perfect. It was a real good flight.
What was there a moment back there that you really appreciated being back there?
Well, yes, Greg's dad was my docent, or he was with me all the time. And when we went to the War Memorial, I happened to be in 8 campaigns, and they were all listed as I went through them perfectly, so we went through it. That was amazing to me to see they could do anything that accurate.
Well, today we have something special too that is actually beyond the scope of the regular honor flight. So tell us why you're here today.
Well, I'm here today just to meet the people in Bakersfield, have lunch, and we brought the plane over so that they can take more people from Bakersfield.
And the plane you're talking about is that C-47?
C-47, yes.
Now, did you ever fly on one of those when you were on active duty?
I would think so. I made 8 parachute jumps, actually 5 in combat, but I made 34 total in 44 years.
Well, you must have been very successful because I still see you.
Well, yeah, been wounded 3 times, but I'm all right. It's good shape.
Well, thank you again for your service. Okay, now, why are you here today?
Well, I want to get together with a group of people that went through what we went through, and I see that they are from all over. I spent my 3.5 years in India, Burma, and China, and then went on up to Tokyo with MacArthur's headquarters, and came back down to Clark Air Base in the Philippines, where I married my dear wife and had kids and came back to the States.
Well, again, thank you for your service.
Thank you for asking me. Appreciate it.
Hey, here we are with Ken Hooper and Jack Gotcher. Ken, what does this mean to you, having these veterans flying a C-47?
You could feel the excitement. When the plane landed, they were all like, hey, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And they cracked that door. These guys were outside on the tarmac ready to go. It's a nice day. It's going to be fun.
Now, you've been involved with World War II and veterans history for a long time. What inspired you to get involved?
Well, I brought 8 of my students this morning, just let them talk to the veterans, and maybe we'll do some interviews ourselves a little bit later. So that's mainly my reason to be here, is to pass on the knowledge from the greatest generation to the millennium generation, and see if some of that knowledge and wisdom will pass on to them.
Well, we got Jack with us today too, and Jack, you have a little experience in flying, is that correct?
I do. I've got about 25 years with the Air Force, and this is a nice tradition. These guys left us with a wonderful heritage, and now it is our turn to pass the baton and teach these kids what this is all about while we honor these veterans. C-47 gives us a great chance to take a lot of them up all at once, and if we had a bomber or a fighter, you couldn't get that many in it, but a cargo airplane, you can really do a good job.
Well, I know you're a young man, and this aircraft is way before your time. Of course, the B-52 was also. Have you ever been on board a C-47?
Yeah. Castle Airport, I was the CEO there, and they've got a C-47, and they've got several cargo airplanes and bombers of all kinds. So I've been in all of them. I've ridden in a B-17 and a B-25, but I've never ridden in a C-47, so that's kind of interesting.
Are you going on one of the flights today?
I probably won't. I'll probably leave space for the veterans, let them go, people in the community.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for coming out and recording this.
Now, what are you doing out here at the airport today?
Oh, we're going to take a flight in the big plane, just circle around Bakersfield and look things over.
This is a C-47.
Yeah. There's a sister ship of it. The last one that they built is sitting here on the apron.
So I understand. Aren't you going to be going on the next trip here? Are you going to?
Yeah,
are you going to jump in line?
I'm going on this trip now. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to get in line here. So I just wanted to say hi to you real quick, and you're going to have to get in line to get on board.
I do that. Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again.
Okay.
You take care.
Hey, we're here today with the crew chief for the C-47, and your name, sir?
Gary Carippo.
And now, are you stationed over in San Luis area?
In Paso Robles at the Estrella Warburg Museum.
Now, what's your role here today?
Well, I'm just making sure all the passengers are comfortable, they're strapped in, kind of like a stewardess. But we have a pilot and a co-pilot and a crew chief, and the crew chief takes care of everything in the back.
How long have you been with this crew?
22 years.
What do you enjoy most?
Oh, I think meeting the old guys and make sure they enjoy what we're doing. I think honoring their time and their sacrifices.
What any special moments you've had with any people on board that's
2 years ago we were at Oshkosh and we got to fly the Band of Brothers around, and that was quite special. Yes. No, I guess no more special than these guys, but it was kind of special at the time.
Well, thank you for your service and thank you for your time. Just got back from the flight of a C-47 Elmer. How did it feel?
It's real nice. The pilot was real good, and the flight was real great. There's no doubt about it. I'd go again tomorrow or today.
Now, you told me when you first got off that you helped fly the plane?
Yeah, I sat next to the co-pilot there, and he let me handle the steering wheel there. So that's just about it.
And you still came back safe?
Oh, yes, safe and sound.
Did everybody clap when they landed because you gave them a little bit of assistance?
Oh, I wasn't there then. He wouldn't let me land. He's not that way.
So if you were list this as what kind of a thrill would this be for you in your lifetime?
Well, between this and the honor flight and stuff in there, I just can't say how much I appreciate it for all the veterans that I see these guys out here again. We're all getting a little older and can't do it much all longer, you know.
Well, again, I can see the smile on your face when you got off that plane. You're like a little kid.
Yes, sir. I was glad to be there.
Well, thank you again. Here we are today with Brad Peters. Now, Brad, I understand you are doing something very special for these veterans today.
Well, I've got a couple of friends over at the Estrella Warburg Museum, Gary Carippo and Sherman Smoot. Sherman's the owner and the pilot of the plane. And I made a deal with them to bring the plane over and give everyone a ride today. And real honor to do it, believe me.
What inspired you to do this for our veterans?
Ever since Lily told me about starting the honor flights, I've been on board since day one, and anything and everything I can do to help, I'm on.
Have you been back on any of the trips yet?
Not yet, no, I haven't. But I'm going to go one of these days. Well, my dad's been.
Yeah, you should go.
I'm going to go, believe me. But no, I just haven't had the opportunity yet.
So have you had a background in, are you a veteran yourself, or are you just a very appreciative person?
No, I'm not a veteran, but I appreciate these guys for everything they've done, all the sacrifices, and I'm very patriotic. Anything I can do to help them, I'm doing it. I don't care what. I'm going to help them out.
Well, thank you on behalf of all the veterans today. That's quite a generous offer.
Thank you. It's an honor to do it. Thank you very much.
Now, you were back on the trip, the honor flight to Washington, D.C. back on April 13th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Tell me, what was the most memorable part of that trip for you?
Well, I still haven't landed, first of all. It was such a great trip that I'm still high. And a given moment, I think, was Arlington. That was very touching. The Vietnam War was very touching. Just the way we were handled by our guardians. Mm-hmm. Each one of us had a guardian, and it was great. My guy was Jeff Gray, and he was just a super guy. I was hoping to be here today, but I think I'll see him next week. Everyone has been so kind to us. This honor flight thing is just so wonderful. I have told a number of my friends about it. Of course, just being on TV and radio back home, every place I go, I'm a celebrity.
Well, you guys were like rock stars when we were back there because people were coming up to you. I was surprised they weren't trying to get your autographs. And
they did everything but that. Their ladies were kissing us, kids were hugging us. Everybody was shaking on our hands and patting us on the shoulder. And I never saw so many 80 and 90-year-old guys crying.
Yeah.
We did a lot of that.
I know it was a very emotional
Yes.
experience for
Yes.
most of you.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Because,
I saw a few tears from your eyes too.
yeah,
Yeah.
close again. Memories that I haven't had in a long time have come up. And it was nice to see all of these guys. I didn't know, and none of us knew one another, but we all became buddies again. And that was really a good feeling.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand those extra little values that come from a trip like this when you have those shared experiences. Even though they're different, but they're still shared experiences, right?
Absolutely. And each moment would bring on different feelings. It was outstanding.
I just want to say again, thank you for your service, and it was a real joy to have you back there
Thanks
with us.
a lot, Bob.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it so
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
You're one of our greats.
And thank you to all the people in Bakersfield that put this together. It's just wonderful.
Thank you again.
Right. Thanks.